Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. Today we're going to be in Isaiah 49, and this is a passage that predicts Jesus almost to a T. And 49 verses 5 and 6. And I'm going to read through it and just talk about how it fits Jesus. So it says, "And now the Lord speaks, to the one who formed me in my mother's womb." Well, that's Jesus being formed in Mary's womb. "To the one who formed me in my womb, to be his servant." So Jesus is going to be God's servant. This is God speaking. And what is he supposed to do? He says, "Who commissioned me to bring Israel back to him." And that's what Jesus was about, was to bring Israel back to God. They had gone astray. Well, they've always been astray from God because sin gets us so we look at ourselves more than we look at God. And that's certainly what the Israelites had done through most of their history. Then going on to end of that verse says, "The Lord has honored me, and my God has given me strength." Well, yes, he has given God has given Jesus. That's where Jesus got his strength. Verse 6, he says, "You will do more than restore the people of Israel to me." So more than just the people of Israel. "You will be a light to the Gentiles, and you will bring my salvation to the ends of the earth." Light unto the Gentiles, the glory of the people Israel. Well, that's a description of Jesus. And Jesus describes himself as the light of the world. In John 9:5, he says that he is the light of the world. So, once again, Jesus is all over the Old Testament, prophetic words, especially in Isaiah, that is full of prophecy. There was, I know a lot of you have heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls that are in Israel, that were found in Israel. It was a community that they found there. Actually, they didn't know the community was there until a shepherd threw a rock up into the caves up on a hillside and broke a jar. And he wondered why the jar was in there. That was weird. So they climbed down into the caves from the top of the cliff with ropes and found these jars that had scrolls in them. Scrolls. This was done, well, they probably put the scrolls in there in about 70 AD when the Romans came in and wiped out everything. So right about the time of Jesus, these scrolls were being worked on. Well, they found out then later down below was they started excavating. There was a community there called Qumran. And that community were people that were following Isaiah, going into the wilderness, preparing the way of the Lord. They were in the wilderness. It was a wilderness desert place. And they were preparing the way of the Lord. They had 7 different baptismal pools, and every day they would go down and come out clean 7 times. So they would be ready for when the Messiah came, because they knew the Messiah was going to come soon. Well, they were right. The Messiah did come soon, but he didn't come in the wilderness. It was in the wilderness you're supposed to prepare, but he came in the cities and, all over Judea. And so the reason I brought this up is because of all the scrolls of the Old Testament, and by the way, that was just a huge find, that these are now the oldest Old Testament original manuscripts that we have. And what they found out is very close or almost directly tied into the other manuscripts they had. The Old Testament didn't change that much. But what they found was that of all the manuscripts, all the rolls of scrolls they had, Isaiah was by far the most numerous. And that's because Isaiah was predicting, they could see, Isaiah was predicting the Messiah. And so they were looking in Isaiah. They had read in Isaiah where it says, "Prepare the way of the Lord in the wilderness." They knew the time was right. They went into the wilderness to prepare for the Lord. They were wrong about the location, as we often are about prophetic things. But they were right about the fact that the Messiah was coming. And in fact, Jesus came at that time that they were in the wilderness. So, these words are not just things that, I'm sitting here thinking up, or, this book that helps me, the Jesus the Jesus-centered Bible is what I'm using, but it's not just stuff they're making up either. This is stuff that Israelites have seen as being prophetic of the Messiah for a long, long time. And this is a really central piece here. I'll read it again. And now the Lord speaks, the one who formed me in my mother's womb to be his servant, who commissioned me to bring Israel back to him. The Lord has honored me, and my God has given me strength. He says, you will do more than restore the people of Israel to me. You will be a light to the Gentiles, and you will bring my salvation to the ends of the earth. This has been God's plan from the very, very beginning. So it's important for you to know God has a plan for your life, has a plan for this world, and he is in charge. So you don't have to be. God bless and have a great day.